Well, hello once again, everyone. It's your boy Jingles Roscoe with another video. So, a few days ago, I was on S Comic Maker's drawing stream, and some people were talking about how they're not really satisfied with their art styles, and they wanna figure out how to improve it, but don't really know how. So I thought I'd put together this video to try and show you how you can improve and solidify your own art style by callously stealing from other artists. I'll kind of explain what I mean here in a bit. But here we go. Okay, so yeah, that was a little bit confusing, but let me explain. Everybody that has a unique art style, they are influenced by artists that they admire. And a lot of people will be influenced by a multitude of different artists, not just like one or even two, right? If you want to have your own unique art style, influences have got to come from a bunch of different places. So what I'm drawing here is just kind of a rough idea of what my style kind of looks like right now. It's really rough though, and I'm actually not super happy with how these turned out. But the idea here is to just kind of, for me here, is to try and solidify what it is that I already do commonly. And I'm not using any references or anything for this because I'm trying to see exactly what it is my personal style is. And I've been influenced by a lot of artists over the years. Back in the day, around high school, I started reading Love Hina and Negima, who's the artist for that is Ken Akamatsu. And I've mentioned plenty of times before in all my other videos, drawing girls has always been a struggle for me. And so after studying Ken Akamatsu's style, I started picking up, I really like the way he draws, faces. Faces was a big thing for me because faces were just not looking the way that I wanted them to. And so, I picked up that. And then there's other artists that I really like the way that they pose their hands. And so I started doing that as well. And lately I feel like my style has been really stiff, and I've been wanting to loosen up and add more ideas to it. And so this is what we have so far. Pretty stiff, not very what do you call it, not very expressive. And so that's what I want to kind of work on this one. And so there's a few artists that I've been following lately that I've been really admiring for different reasons. And so what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be kind of redrawing some of the pictures that I've seen them put up. And so this is what I mean by stealing from other artists, right? So what I'm doing here is that I'm pretty much making a copy of a few of their pictures, right? This first one here is an artist named LeoniFezz. And all of the artists that I'm callously stealing from here, I'm going to have links in the description for their social medias, and if I can find them, their YouTube channels, so you can go check them out yourself. But yeah, these are all artists that I like for different reasons. LeoniFezz is an individual that I really like the expressiveness in their poses, and just the way that they detail musculature and form and stuff like that. This picture of Juri Han's kind of an older one, and I believe that their style has changed over the years, and so the more recent style, the first two ones are much more recent pictures and posts that they've posted online. And yeah, he draws a lot of really tough looking girls, and it's something that I really like. I'm kind of into tomboys and stuff. That's why I've been drawing them a lot more lately. But yeah, the form and just the way that the bodies and the faces look in all of his pictures are, I like them a lot. And it's something that I've wanted to incorporate into my own style. So by copying these pictures, what I'm trying to do is kind of get an idea of how he just, like, he does form and you know, anatomy and stuff like that, and how he exaggerates anatomy in a certain way. I don't want to copy him one for one, and really, when you're kind of doing this process with artists that you admire, you shouldn't want to copy him one for one either. Because if you just focus on one artist and you just are copying their style, then your stuff is going to look like their stuff. And then people are going to be all like, no, this looks like their stuff, you know? And they're going to accuse you of not being unique, right? And really, as an artist, you want to be unique because you want to be known for your own style and your own work, not for somebody else's style and work, right? Anyway, and so that's the focus of this thing here. And these are the pictures that I've done of LeoniFezz's art here. And so the next artist that I'm casually stealing from is an artist named Krooked Glasses. Krooked Glasses is a person that I've been following pretty closely lately. Some of you may recognize her art as the current. She makes all of the current artworks for Game Grumps, and that's the Grump heads and the video thumbnails, stuff like that. She's an incredibly talented artist, and I just, once again, just love her form and expressiveness. It's also kind of Tim Burton-y in, like, it's very angular, very sharp in its, like, form, and I really like it. And it's a style that I definitely would like to try and emulate a little bit more in my own style. But I'm the kind of artist that's very flowy and very curvy in style, and that's just the way that I like to draw. But I'd like to be able to simplify my drawings in a more angular way, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to copy her style like one for one, obviously, like all the other ones. But there's a lot of like I said, the way that the form works and expressiveness of the characters that I really, really like about her style. And so, yeah, I decided that just try and steal a little bit from her as well, you know? Yeah. She's also incredibly talented and has her own YouTube channel, and it's fantastic. She doesn't put too much on there lately, but I think that's just because she's working super hard on Grump's stuff, on her own stuff, and just she's working hard all the time, and she's got a work ethic that I'm incredibly impressed with. But yeah, I'm surprised that she can continue to pump out such quality art like all the time, and I really like it. I like her little avatar too. So it was a lot of fun to try and copy that style of hers. And now the final artist, but certainly not the least artist, is an individual named Takayuuki. Takayuuki is an artist that I've been following because I've been watching a lot of Critical Role, and I still need to catch up on not just Season 1 of Critical Role, but Season 2. I'm falling far behind. I think I'm like 5 or 6 episodes behind in season 2, and I've been trying to keep up with that one. But Takayuuki is an artist that started by just making a bunch of fan art for Critical Role, and is now been actually making like official pieces for Critical Role now. And so I think that's really wicked awesome, and would be something that I would probably like to do someday. But I still got a long ways to go, and I made a piece of fan art for Critical Role, and the art style that I went with in that was really heavily influenced by Takayuuki's art, and I tagged it on Twitter, and it actually ended up being in an episode of Critical Role in their fan art section, and that blew my mind, and I thought that was the greatest thing ever. But back to Takayuuki. Takayuuki, once again, is somebody that really puts a lot of energy into his characters and his drawing style, and it's something that I've just been like, it's so great to look at, and it's definitely one of the biggest reasons why I didn't 100% emulate his style, but it was very heavily influenced by his style in the drawing that I made. And I don't want to say that's the reason why it got noticed and got put in the episode of Critical Role, but you know, that's always a possibility. Anyway, yeah, just the expressiveness, the energy in the characters is something that I really admire about Takayuuki's work. Also has made some really cool Critical Role animatics, and is up on his YouTube channel, which I will also link in the description, so be sure to check that stuff out because it is fantastic. And here's kind of what I was able to put together from stealing from him. Now I know what you're asking yourself. You're asking yourself, Jungles, why are you stealing such great pieces of work from such talented artists? And this is the reason why, is because now I'm going to take what I learned, what I admire from these artists, and make an original piece of art from what I've learned. Not copying what they do specifically, but incorporating it into what I already do, right? And that's how you start to develop a unique style. Something that is unique to you specifically. Now, the point of this video is just to show you that it's totally fine to be influenced by artists. And that's how artists grow. That's how artists get better, is because they've been influenced by artists that they admire, right? They've been influenced by the kinds of things that they really enjoy and love. May it be like a cartoon that you really like, and you like the style of that particular cartoon, or in my case, the whole bunch of manga that I own and the bunch of different artists that I follow. That's how you solidify your own personal style, right? And that's the way you have to do it. And so what I'm doing here now is, well, I've had this character kind of in mind for a little bit. Pyman and I have been going over an idea for a D&D Pathfinder one-shot involving some barbarian people, and so I was kind of sort of coming up with a character for that. Pyman had one, and I drew an idea for Pyman's character here, and I kind of had an idea for my own as well. And so I'm throwing together what I've learned from the artists that I admire and follow, and kind of incorporating what they do into my own style. And by doing this, it's always stuff that I would want to do anyway. You shouldn't try and copy somebody else's style just because you think it looks better. It should be something that you want to draw anyway, right? Which is really a fine line that's hard to follow, and I get that. And so, like, just do what's true in your heart, man. Just do what you want to do, man. You know, it's like I said, it's okay to be influenced by other artists. My art style is a combination of a bunch of artists that I really like and really admire, as well as some of my own, like, personal studies with anatomy and stuff like that, so that I can draw in a way that I really want to draw. I think the goal of an artist is always just reinterpreting stuff in the way that you want it to be interpreted. Which is probably why all of us artists are super weird. I've come to the conclusion that artists are some of the weirdest people in the world, and that's okay, because I think it takes, like, a certain amount of weirdness to want to create art, and create anything in general. That goes for writing and other stuff like that in general. But yeah, like I said, I've been trying to combine the expressiveness and the form and the, I don't know if I want to say playfulness, but something like that, to my own art style. I've been, for most of my life, really heavily influenced by manga and Japanese artists. And as I've gotten older, and I don't know if wiser, but as I've gotten older, I've been wanting to reincorporate my style and change it so that it's more influenced by Western artists as well. And that's definitely what I did here. All of the artists that I follow are Westerners. Most of them are from the United States. One of them is from Brazil. But all of them, I think, are also really influenced by a lot of the same places I was influenced by. But they've also reinterpreted those different styles in their own way. And that's what makes them unique. And by reinterpreting things in the way that I want will make my art unique. And reinterpreting things in the way that you want will make your art unique. And I've mentioned before, like, I've considered myself kind of a style sponge. When I make fan art and speed drawings of characters, like, I often try and emulate the style of the medium that they're from, be it the video game or whatever, the artist that did them first, right? And I myself have been wanting to, I don't know if reinvent myself is the right phrase, but definitely want to, make my stuff more unique, so that when people see something that I made, they'll be like, yes, that's a Jingles Roscoe, right? But it's something that takes a long time, and it's not going to come just within a day. It's something that is constantly worked on. I watch, like, YouTube artists like Jazza, and I watch his stuff now, and it doesn't look like he's trying to improve in his art at all, and that's something that makes me sad, because I feel like artists should always be trying to improve and finding ways to reinterpret life and characters and stuff like that in a way that's unique to them. But he does have a unique style, so good for him, I guess. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helps you try and solidify your own style as well. And I'd really, really like to see the kind of things that you guys create. Like I leave my Twitter on these videos, and so if you have a Twitter, then send it to me. Or if you want to leave a comment to some other place where you post it, I always read all the comments, even if I don't always comment back. But once again, thanks for listening, and I hope you guys have a good time with art, and hope to see you guys again real soon.